Howdy folks, Danny with Danny Links Calling, and I wanted to talk about something from last night, and I know y'all probably watched the hour and 40-minute longest State of the Union speech of all time, and if you did, and probably heard about it on the news all day, and people arguing about, well, they did this, and he said that, and this ain't right, and they're lying to you, and all all that stuff. So I want to talk about that a little bit, but not that in that way, because kind of to me, all of this stuff is spiritual at its heart, and so. Yeah, can it get worse? Well, I think it's going to, but people will ask you, how in the world did we get here where it's this bad? Well, a step at a time, one little stepping stone, one more little stepping stone, and people don't want to hear it. At every little stepping stone, they don't want to hear you tell them what's happening and where actions lead, right? At every action, there's a reaction. And, I put it this way. If you add A to B, you always get C. You add 2 to 2, you always get 4. Even, no matter what the modern teaching methods want to say, well, it doesn't matter. It's just, how did you get to 2 and 2 is 27? Just show me how you got there and it's fine. No, it's not fine. We have done what mankind's done through all of history, and moved ourselves right on into not being able to even see reality, where we have half our country, probably and most of the rest of the world, and that cannot see what's right in front of their face, not deny reality. We'll stand there and tell you that a man turned into a woman and can have a baby now. No, that if a person can have a baby, it was a woman the whole time. A woman can't turn into a man and then say she's a woman having a baby, because she didn't turn into nothing. She's still a woman. And if she wasn't, which would mean surgery and all kinds of hormones and stuff, she wouldn't be able to get pregnant, right? And she still ain't gonna be a man. She's just gonna be a woman that can't get pregnant. But people will argue with you about this stuff and call you a bigot for not just following along with the lie. This stuff is not, well, we're just trying to make people feel welcome. So if somebody walks in your house and they're a raging lunatic with an axe, are you going to say, look, Mr. Axe Man, I just want to make sure you're comfortable while you chop my family to pieces? No, you have to treat people with mental problems like they're people with mental problems. And if you think you're an opposite sex or an animal or a dinosaur or a daggum dragon or something, you've got a mental problem. We used to know this. And by used to, I mean like 3 minutes ago. Y'all change the rules every 5 minutes. And then and then yell at people for not keeping up. Well, I ain't keeping up. I ain't following you. I'm not propagating your lies. You know what? I'll be nice and polite and, you know, just don't invite me to your gay wedding. You can go have your gay wedding and, you know, hey, it's a free country. Just go do what you want to do. Just don't expect me to participate and agree with it. And this is the problem, see. It really was never about them just being able to have the freedom to do what they want to do, because they already had that. I mean, I know from personal experience, because I know somebody that had a gay wedding when I was a teenager. Law didn't show up. I mean, they didn't bust into place and arrest everybody. That wasn't what it was about. It was about destroying God. That's what all of this has been about. It's what science has been up to for the last 150 or better years, trying to kill God. It's what school teaching and college has been about, killing God. And they can't kill God. They can destroy people's memory of him. But people still innately have a hole in their heart that only God can fill. And they'll try to fill it with sex and money and debauchery and every kind of thing in the world, and except for the one thing that'll fill that hole. I know people that put a rope around their neck because they would rather do that than to surrender to the Lord. Because they were just too smart for all that. You know, they were just too smart to believe in these fairy tales. Their life spins out of control, just gets worse and worse and worse, but they won't accept the answer. This is what's wrong with these people. They're not stupid. They're evil. They know exactly what they're doing. Now, what they did last night, from a political sense, is about as stupid as you can get. I mean, just from a purely political position, Donald Trump ate their lunch. I mean, he just laid it right out there and said, destroy yourself in front of all these cameras and all these American people watching. And they said, okay. And they did. They just destroyed themselves. And I'm glad to see it. They need to destroy themselves, because you're not going to live with these people. Because you know why? They're not going to live with you. They're not going to have it. They will not live and let live. That's what we've been trying to do for the last 140 years. Live and let live, and it gets worse. But just keep the peace, Don't get schmucky-fluck upset at Thanksgiving. Just don't talk about reality. Just let her, live in her deranged world. Let your friends believe lies. Just don't upset the apple cart. Don't talk about this stuff in church, y'all. It's political. It's politics. We're not supposed to talk about politics in church, y'all. It's out there in the world. It's out there in the world. It ain't in here in the church. And I'm like, do y'all think that's a bank vault door or something? And this is our hidey hole, and we got supplies in here for 55 years? All I got to do is walk in that door. They're coming in that door. And they have. Have you not noticed the condition of the church? Have you not noticed that we've got churches with not just female pastors, but gay female pastors? male slash female pastors, male gay slash hippo pastors. I mean, every kind of crazy there is in the world. And the church, they ain't the church. Have y'all figured that out yet? They ain't the church. They are a building with some people that go there that go casually, you know, and they go there to get a nice little message to make them feel good for, you know, till next Sunday, and not step on their toes too much, you know. We don't want to upset people. We don't want to run people off. We want to be accepting and accept the sinners in here. How's that working out? Sinners are all welcome because we're all sinners. Unrepentant, outright, just living right in filth sinners. The church is supposed to put them out, y'all. Have you not ever read any of the books that 2/3 of the New Testament that Paul wrote about putting people out of the church because they were ruining the church? Have you not read the Old Testament where God said, if you don't kill every one of those evil, child murdering, burning them alive people, they will infect you with their disease of worshiping demons, and you'll be doing it too. And you've read the Bible's history, right? Israel didn't kill them all. They didn't listen when God said, kill them all, burn everything. Don't take so much as the hair off of a sheep away from that place. It's all infected. That's not the Jesus that I know. He's sweet and kind. I hate to tell y'all, but Jesus fashioned a bullwhip. He didn't go just buy a bullwhip. He made one. He made one of his own so it would be right. And he took it to people for bringing filth and debauchery and greed into his Father's house. Does this sound familiar? You know, I have a hard time. I have a hard time hemming and hawing. I have a hard time being the softer side of the church. I'm a lot more comfortable with being the fist of the church, the warrior of the church, the one that carries the sword. Jesus told his disciple, he told you, if you don't have a sword, sell your cloak and go get one. If you don't have a weapon to defend yourself and the people around you, and you're living in these evil days where everybody's got a weapon, well, the good people ought to have one. At least a few of the good people ought to have one too. And you know, the evil people don't want you to have a weapon because they want you at their behest. Them people up in government that want to take them from you, that's why. So they can rule you. And so you can't say nothing about it. Guys, you know, this whole little thing here, people might watch it. They might not watch it. I might just sit here and talk to myself. I'll be okay. As long as I'm telling the truth and I feel like the Holy Spirit is guiding me and allowing me to do what I'm doing. He starts telling me that ain't right. Then I'll back up. But he put this bulldog in here and made my path to not be a pastor. I'm a really good person to go to if you need to talk to somebody and hear some real counseling, like out of the Bible, which is the only counseling that ever will do you any good. I don't know about y'all, but I've watched a whole bunch of people go through this whole counseling thing and take the pill thing, and not one of them's benefited from it. I'm not saying that there's not medical conditions, mental issues. I'm not saying that. I am saying all disease comes from sin. There was no mental disorders. There was no heart failure. There was none of this when there was no sin in the world. Sin, our sin, brought all this mess in the world. So we got to deal with it until Jesus comes and fixes it. And try to make the best of it as we can while we're here. But he's the only one that's going to be able to fix it. I mean, how many thousands of years have we been trying to fix it? We ain't got no closer than we were before. We've gotten further away. So I sometimes people just need to hear straight up, full strength truth. If you have family members, let's just hypothetically, you have a family member, your brother, he comes and says, I'm a girl now. You got a few little babies. They're over at Christmas parties and birthdays, and you go to church, and you're actually at a church where the pastor's saying that stuff's evil. Don't participate in it. Don't do stuff. Don't do it. You're participating in it by omission. You're going along with a lie. You're involved in one of the biggest lies that's ever been put out on mankind, that there's no such a thing as male and female. It's right in the very beginning of the first book. God created them male and female. Male and female, God created them. He said it several times to get it through our head that he made us male and female. We are different. We're supposed to be different. Young folks, if there's any young folks that ever watch this, you're supposed to be different. Stop trying to make the other like you. They're not supposed to be like you. They're supposed to be different. You're supposed to learn how to deal with their difference and appreciate it, and them appreciate your difference, because you supply things that they can't, and vice versa. And together, it's like years. Those differences are like years. The machine won't run if they don't go together, but they're made to go together in like years. And so, see differences as a blessing. Differences in your sex, differences in race. We're all one mankind. God created two people. Every one of us comes from them. And the more the scientists try to disprove that, their gene technology is proving it to be true. And they'll say the darndest things like, we're finding that we all came from one woman. They're like, really? I'll be darned. Y'all figured that out, have you? Oh, dang. I wonder, have you ever heard that before? them people up there are showing their tail, and God's putting a hook in their mouth and pulling them to do it. He's exposing them. He's given them over to a reprobate mind. And you guys that probably listen to this know that language. You know what that means. You know what that means about what time we're living in. People have lost their minds. They cannot see the truth. It's not that they won't. They can't. They love the lie so much that eventually God said, okay, have it. There you go. Hands off. Y'all run with it. And this is where that leads. People that won't cheer for clap for a mama who her daughter had her throat cut out by a man that himself said he had voices telling him to do it. You know who them voices are? They're demons. This stuff is not that hard. That guy was filled with demons, and the demonic system kept putting him back out there until he murdered somebody. When he was beating people up, hitting them with a ball bat, robbing them, they just said, the poor guy just needs help. Let's don't give him any. Let's don't lock him up somewhere where he could get it. Let's set him out on the people. Because this wouldn't be fair to put him somewhere. They started that stuff when I was in my 20s. The very same people that told you shouldn't be allowed to own a gun said that they wanted to turn all the lunatics out on the street because it wasn't fair to lock them up. In other words, turn them loose on you. This is what we've got. And the system's propagating them murdering and raping and killing, and they're inviting more of them in. Millions of them they invited in here. This stuff's not out of stupidity. It's not mistakes. It's on purpose, intentional, and it's demonic. These are the days we are living in. Rejoice in it. God is allowing us to live at a time where people have been talking about for 2,020 some odd years. They've been talking about these things happening since Jesus left. They've been talking about this since before Jesus came, because the prophets were talking about it. Ezekiel. Have you read any Ezekiel lately? If you do, you'll realize things are lining up. They're lining up. And it's a whole nother conversation, and I will probably come back and do what I've been planning to. But Ezekiel 38's playing out. Not the war of Gog and Magog. We ain't there yet. For several reasons. But the roadmap's being laid for it. We're not at the mark of the beast yet. But the system's being built for it. Right in front of our eyes. And I hope that you are somebody who sees that, who hears the voice telling you, prepare. And I don't mean build you a bug out bag and have your vehicle ready to hit the mountains, and do that if you want to. But I'm not in a condition to do that stuff anymore. And if I get away from insulin and medication, I'm going to peter out pretty quick. So me and my wife have made our peace with all of that and what that means. And I made peace with many years ago. So the Holy Spirit's been talking to me for a long time. Before I was a teenager, He put some people in my life. And I know I'm crazy. I know I've been crazy. I've been radical, a right-wing extremist, square, party pooper. I've been called everything, and it's okay. White boy, fat white boy. I've been called everything, man. So you can't hurt my feelings, because my feelings don't depend on what people think. It depends on what He thinks. And if He's good with what I'm doing, I'm good. If He's not good with what I'm doing, then I'm stopping. Whoa, Hoss. Hang on. Let's listen. See what God's got to say about it. Because He's not the only important thing in my life, but He is the most important thing in my life. And that keeps my priorities straight with everybody else and everything else. I hope you are one of the people that hears that voice, that's at least hearing something's not right. I don't know what it is. I've never studied prophecy and all of this stuff. I've never went to. I've never even been exposed to it. But something's not right. And I just can feel something's not right. So many people are saying that. Hey, I have an endocrinologist, and she's the lady from India, and she's fantastic, y'all. She saved my life, because I had the VA trying to let me die in 50 different ways, and send me to an endocrinologist that basically just said, just keep doing what you're doing. And I'm like, my sugar is like 500. My meter just reads high. It won't even tell me how high. It's been like this for 10 years. My A1C is 13, and you just told me to keep doing what I'm doing. At death's door, I found a real doctor, and a whole team of them too. The Lord just brought me a heart doctor, a kidney doctor, endocrinologist, sugar doctor, a regular nurse practitioner lady that took 500 things that were going on with me and just helped me just one piece at a time. Like, we just got to figure this out one piece at a time. And then as we kind of would get something kind of figured out, okay, I think we need to send you to a heart doctor. So the Lord kept me here for some reason, y'all. And that was not the first time. I've told, if you've seen any of this before, you know that wasn't the first time. He's kept me here multiple times where and anybody else would have been dead, because and there was times I wanted to be. I was hurting, weak. That I don't do weak, y'all. I don't do weak well. I don't do depressed well. But boy, I know what it feels like. And I had to get in the book of Job. I had to get in the book with these prophets that people were trying to murder them. They were asking God, just kill me. just kill me and bring me on home, and don't let them catch me and get a hold of me and do the things they're going to do to me. I know what it's like to just, I'd rather just, not walk out in the backyard and blow my brains out. I'd rather just go on home now, Lord, any time. Now's good. And it's only about that far from there to a gun or every bit of insulin you got all at one time. I've thought about it. I've been through it, y'all. So I absolutely understand the feeling of a deep, dark hole that you can't even see that there is outside of that. You can't even see that there is a way out of it because it's just dark. Everything's dark. And so I absolutely appreciate all that. I know I look just like some little old redneck, but I can speak very well when I intend to, and I can use large words. I can do it. And in seminary, I took every counseling class they had because I had a lot of people that were going through things. My wife had passed away, and I was going through it, and so was everybody around me. And I wanted to be able to help people if I could, and I knew from my experience that the secular world of psychiatry was not helping people. I had doctors, I had therapists when I went through marriage counseling that were more messed up than she was, than my wife was. And she had terrible mental disorder that I didn't understand at the time, but God brings people to show you things. God always makes a way. So, this is why I say I made an email just for this. DannyLinksCalling@gmail.com. It ain't got nothing on there but this. There ain't a message on there unless y'all leave one. Because the stuff that I don't want y'all to get the wrong idea and think that I think I'm magic or that I have a crystal ball. Right? It's not the fact. That's just not the fact. But hey, when I was 12, I had several preachers pull me out of auditoriums full of people and prophesy over me that I was going to be a prophet of God one day. I thought that was crazy, and the only thing I knew about a prophet was that they told the future or something, some vague, so what, I'll be able to see the future? I don't believe that. I'm far too logical minded for that. I have an artistic side over here, but it's way smaller than my logical side. I'm very artistic type person, but I used to wish I was more artistic because my best friend was very, very creative, and I was good at recreating, telling a story, drawing something to look real. I had teachers tell me not to do that. It's like, this is what I'm good at. But God gave me just a little bit of that and more logical mind. And I've seen my friends and other people in the music business and elsewhere that are so artistically minded. There's something different about them, and it's what makes them great songwriters and great artists and great painters and great sculptors. And they're obsessive. I'm a little obsessive too, but I don't know. I think the Holy Spirit helps channel it at least into healthy things, so I'm not addictive like to drugs and things, I don't know. God's just always made a way for me to keep my mind on what's important. At least, even when you're young and you're crazy, kind of. Even then, I was always seeking truth. And when you're young and 15, 18, 20, 25, you're having to fight everybody you know. If you want to remain logical, you have to fight everybody. I did. Maybe, I grew up in a crazy situation, so maybe I experienced more of that than most people. I don't know. But so this is all new, and so as this goes along, you guys are just kind of getting to know me, and I'm kind of getting to know a few of y'all. That's cool. But you're going to get to know me a lot more because I'm on the side, and, I've been in a band, and it's hard to know 1,000 people, 2,000 people, 10,000 people. There's somebody constantly walking up to you going, "Hey, man," and you're like, Everybody said that. Do I know them? Hey, how you doing? You can't remember them. Oh, it's really weird when people know you that you've maybe never even met, but they know you, and they feel like they know you because they love your music and stuff. They've seen you on TV, and you know how it is. You feel like you know these people in movies and the TV shows you watch, or musicians or singers. You feel like you know them, and you really don't. They could be the opposite of what you think they are, because anything that you do in that kind of realm is performative, and you're performing, and like in a band, you don't have to play fake. You don't have to play somebody else, but you sort of are. There's sort of a character, you put these certain clothes on, and when you're wearing these certain clothes and this hat, you're, Dan from Making Hazen Band. You're this other entity that's not just the normal you. You're showing off, showing out, and so we don't. It's hard to know people that you love and you're married to. It's way harder to know people you don't know anything about them except what you've seen. So I'm not magic. I don't know. I can't tell you what's going to happen tomorrow and next week, but I can tell you the direction that we're headed in and what the Bible says is coming. I'm just telling you what it says and foreseeing that it's coming because it's happened in the past in different ways. There are echoes. The Bible is full of, echoes of things that are to come. And they're, you see in the Old Testament all these things that were like a a pre story of Jesus, you know, with Moses and taking his son up to sacrifice him, and Joseph and going into Egypt, and you see Jesus through the whole Bible. Like this is a kind of a reflection of what Jesus is going to be like, you know, and so in my logical mind, I think that the prophets, although I think they did have special gifts from God, I think He gives us all special gifts. You know, yours might be making delicious food at the church, you know, but He gives us all gifts, and I think they had extra special gifts, but I also think that it's likely that they were very well read on history. First off, to be one of them, to be a priest, to do that, you had to memorize the Bible, the scriptures. You had to memorize them, know them by heart. Think of that. All of it, not pieces of it, all of it. You think they might have known some stuff? It's full of Israel's history. You think they might have seen some patterns there, and could see the patterns replaying? My logical mind goes there, that they weren't magic. Now, did they have special gifts that God gave them? I believe so. I believe that. I mean, He did for His disciples, right? He gave them power to heal and cast out demons and things that they couldn't do on their own. So God can do anything He wants, and He can give anybody the power to do anything that He wants to do. You know, He didn't give me dreams that I'm like, oh my goodness, on June 2nd, you know? Every time I hear one of those, I just, in a month, everybody be forgot about it, and that person will just be moved on. Just because it happens over and over. But that doesn't mean I haven't had dreams, and it's been of late, in the last 6 months, that I've had a couple. I didn't dream for years. I didn't sleep. I worked all the time, and then when I did lay down, I had sleep apnea and didn't know it, and so I actually never had a dream for over 10 years, probably 12 years. Never had a dream, and I have some dreams now, and sometimes I can remember them, but I've had some terrible nightmares about things going on that I called a friend. I phoned a friend just to say, hey, I'm not even going to give you an opinion, or I'm not even going to say anything. I'm just going to tell you about this dream I had, you know. And I just wanted to see, did he see it as anything more than just a terrible nightmare? Because I don't think I've ever had a nightmare like that before. And I've had 3 of them now. And they've all been similar. 2 of them are almost identical. Terrible things happening. Terrible things happening. Are those something that's coming? I don't know. My name is Daniel, but I am not a dream reader. I don't know. All I know to do is just trust that the Lord's got it in hand. And it's not for me to worry about any of it. If anything, I'm kind of weirdly excited that the Lord might be coming soon. Which is weird, because you're like, well, I mean, I don't want all these terrible things that are going to come. If he does pull the church out of here, we, the church, and the Holy Spirit in us, restrain evil in the world. You know, the church in the West has done more evil restraining than any other power in history. And we've done some evil too, but we have restrained a lot of evil. And so you take out everybody that is one of the people that's always speaking calmness and righteousness into situations. Take all of them out of the world, and what are you left with? A bunch of people that will just destroy each other. Everything will fall apart. Just simple things like, guess who makes up the vast majority of our military? Young men from the South who grew up going to church. They make up the vast majority of our military. You don't believe me? Go look it up. Go research it. It's just always been that way. So, you know, what do those dreams mean? I don't know. I don't know. I have an idea of what they might mean, but like I said, I'm not magic. So I know my limitations. I'm just a guy. I think I'm a fairly smart guy. I've tried to button this button. I don't like it like that. But my fingers don't work. My wife has to button stuff for me. So I have to leave a button because I have to put it over my head because my fingers just won't work. I just sit here all day trying to button buttons. Or get little needle nose pliers and, you know, some Nip-X or something. I have to have a pair of pliers just in case I can't open a bottle, a Pepsi bottle or something. Well, Coke. I don't like Pepsi, but I have to keep tools around. Hence, toting a bag. This has went on longer than I planned on it, and I plan to do some more. So, but a lot of this is just sort of introduction to who's this guy that just decided to start doing YouTube videos. Well, I've been preparing for this for a long time. In reality, I've been wanting to do something like this for at least a decade. I've been wanting to do something like this really 2000. About 2000s when I really got serious about, I think I want to do a talk radio show. And people saying, man, you'd really be good at that. You should do it. And then, you know, how things happen. But God moves you in a different direction. And so his timing's perfect. So this is the time for me to do this and my little go over and talk about knives and enjoy that, and it's fun, and the people are wonderful. I love them. I watched a live here just a minute ago, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoy that. I love hanging out with the people and you know, people talking back and forth and looking at cool knives. But I'm gonna just pull the chute and let y'all go. But this stuff that happened is just another sign that we're living in evil times, and people that you love, they have lost their minds, and you don't know what to do about it. I don't know what to do about it. That I have friends that I love that they can't be at peace hanging out or just talking to me because they're so caught up in the these things of the world, and they think they're right, and they're just wanting to sit on Facebook and just scream at people. And I just don't participate when they go, "Hey, why did you say this on your Facebook?" On my page. I'm just like, man, it was good to talk to you. If you want to talk in private, on private message, we could do that, because I'm not going to yell at you. I'm not going to yell at you and have a whole crowd of people get in here and they're fighting back and forth, and no, I'm not doing that. I love you more than that. This stuff you're wanting to argue about is not worth anything like as much as I love you. So the people that are most likely still listening to this, if any of you still are the peacemakers. And that does not mean backing down. Sometimes the peace means bringing the fight to them. I mean, think about how we got rid of Hitler. Did we nice talk him down? Nope. But, we got to be the voice of reason and the calm people, and that has not been my strong suit in my life. It is now. It takes a lot to get me. The dog is still in there, but it takes a lot. And even then, I hate it when I have to actually get mad at somebody, because I don't never get mad at nobody. So, be the voice of reason. Be the voice of truth. It's going to cost you. And if you're here, you probably already know all this. But it costs you to stand on the truth. And it costs you to say Jesus is Lord. When your friend's saying, "Don't you know there's a big asteroid out there that's probably a spaceship, and the alien ship is coming to get us, and it's a hospital ship is going to heal everybody in the world, and this is all new." And I'm like, no, it's not new, dude. It's very old. It's very ancient. They rebrand it as new all the time. Like they keep rebranding communism and socialism as new. It's not new. It's very ancient. Y'all be blessed, and stay strong, because we are living in perilous times. We're living in some crazy times. But it's all fine. So it's not like, man, we're living in terrible times. It's more like, man, we're living in terrible times, but man, the Lord is so good, and I'm so blessed that I know where I stand, and there I will stand. These are things we're going to have to be doing. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk to y'all about working muscles. You don't wake up one day and go, "I'm going to go to the gym today, and tomorrow I'm going to go compete in the weightlifting competition, and I'm going to squat 650 pounds. I've never been to the gym before, and I have a hard time carrying a 5-gallon bucket of water, but I'm gonna go compete against the world's best." We don't do that, right? So the Lord has given us time, and maybe this is why Donald Trump's president, to give us some more time, because we've got to get ready Just, you got to build that muscle of saying no and meaning it. That when they come and say, you have to take this mark or we're going to kill your babies, that the answer is no. You've got to take it or we're going to kill you. The answer is no. And I have had a lot of practice at saying no. So if you need some practice learning how to say no, learning how to stand, just stand. You don't have to run across the battlefield. Stand on the rock that is Jesus. Just stand and don't and refuse to be moved from the truth. I know it's hard. Most of your family and your friends and people you love, it's hard to just go, I'm sorry, but no, I'm just not participating in that. I'm not going along with it. You should know that. You know, they don't invite me to stuff like that. And when I see them now going, I don't think that Gran would want to read that book. I'm like, they know she's not participating because we have to. I mean, we don't have to. If you're a Christian, you have to. You're going to have to build those muscles. And if maybe you already have, praise the Lord. But if you haven't, don't think you're going to wait till the last minute and suddenly be strong when you've never lifted one weight. You've never worked that muscle. You got to work those muscles. So, bless y'all, and I'll see you next time. I don't know if I'm going to go get a shower and then do a few more of these or just chill. I don't know. I like to do stuff when the Lord puts it on my heart and my mind because I forget. It slides away. That's why I sat down. I'm just sitting down and doing this. So, y'all be blessed. And if you need anything, I'm really going to try to remember to watch that email. And I've got another one for my, Bulldog Smith channel. I don't know. I just know that my Facebook or my email is just full of garbage. And so I'd have to weed through all that garbage to find the messages that somebody really needed me to talk to them. And so I thought, well, I'll try it this way. Just make email for each one of those things. That way, if somebody messaged me on there, I know what it's about, And if I can remember to just go check it every day, because email is not my friend and I hate it and I've avoided it for decades, but I'm trying to use it. Y'all be blessed, and I'll see you back next time. That Danny Link's calling. Bye.